Snow White.
Once upon a time, there lived a little girl named Snow White. And Snow White lived in a big castle. Do you know what a castle is? It's a big, big house where kings and queens live. And Snow White lived in this particular castle with her stepmother, who was the queen. But the queen wasn't a nice queen. She was very scary and horrible and very, very bad and very, very mean to Snow White. But Snow White was a lovely girl, and she was happy, and she played in the castle, and she danced, and she sang. But the queen had a magic mirror. Do you know what a mirror is? It's like a window, and when you look in it, you can see your reflection. And every morning, the queen would look in the mirror, and she would say, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" And the mirror would say, "Why, you're the fairest of them all, your majesty." And the queen would be very happy. "Oh, I'm so beautiful, look at me, oh." And she did this every day for years and years and years. But as the years went by, Snow White went from being a little girl to a beautiful woman. And one morning, the queen woke up, got out of bed, looked in the mirror and said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" And the mirror said, "Why, Snow White is the fairest of them all, your majesty." "What? What do you mean, Snow White? I am the fairest of them all." "No," said the mirror, "you're not the fairest of them all anymore. Snow White is beautiful." And the queen got so angry that she called for her best soldier. And she said, "Soldier, I want you to take Snow White deep into the forest and kill her. She's too beautiful. I am the most beautiful person in the kingdom. And as proof that you've killed her, I want you to bring back her heart." So the soldier wasn't happy with what the queen had told him to do, but he was very loyal and he always did what he was told. So he took Snow White and he said, "Snow White, we have to go into the forest because I'm going to teach you how to hunt animals." And off they went. Now, when they got into the forest, they had been talking and laughing and getting to know each other. And when the time came to kill Snow White, the soldier thought, "I can't do it." So he told Snow White, "Snow White, you're in a lot of danger. Run away and never come back to the castle." And she did. She ran as fast as she could. And the hunter killed a boar, which is like a big pig with teeth. And he took out its heart and he went back to the castle and he presented the heart to the queen and he said, "Your Majesty, I have done what you asked me to do. Here is the heart of Snow White." And the queen was very happy because Snow White was dead. But if you remember, Snow White wasn't dead. She went through the forest and she was very scared and very lonely until, what's that? She saw a house. Not a normal house like you have or like I have, a very little house. So she crept down and she went inside. And there were 7 little beds in the house. Who could live here, she thought. So she waited, and before long, along came 7 little dwarfs. Dwarfs are like little people. And they came in, and "Who is this?" they said. "Hello, my name's Snow White," she told them. And before long, they became good friends. And Snow White waited in the house, and she helped cook and clean, and in return, the dwarfs let her live with them. and they all became very good friends, and for years and years they were very happy. Until one day, with the Queen, who hadn't spoken to the mirror in a very long time because she was very angry with the mirror, decided to speak to the mirror once again. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? And you know what the mirror said? Well, Snow White is the fairest of them all, Your Majesty. What? But that's impossible! Snow White is dead! No, she's not, said the mirror. She's not dead. So, the Queen, who knew magic, took a special potion that made her very, very old and very ugly. And as the old woman, she walked into the forest until she saw the house where the dwarves lived. And she went very quietly up to the door and she knocked on the door. Who is it? Said Snow White. Well, hello, dearie. I'm an old lady. I have a present for you, said the Queen. So Snow White opened the door and the old lady, who was the Queen, was standing there with a juicy red apple. I've brought this apple for you, Snow White. But why have you brought me an apple? Asked Snow White, because it was a very strange thing to do. Why, I brought it as a present because you're the most beautiful lady in all the kingdom. So, Snow White said, thank you very much, because we always say thank you when we get a present, even if it's a nasty apple. And she bit into the apple, but the apple was poisonous. And poison's a very bad thing to eat. Never eat poison. And soon, Snow White felt faint and tired, and she fell to the ground. And the Queen thought she was dead, because she was very still and she wasn't moving and her eyes were closed and she looked as if she was asleep. Said the Queen, I've killed her! Now I am the most beautiful one in the kingdom! And with that, she ran back to the castle. Before long, the 7 dwarfs came back to the house and they saw Snow White lying there, very still and very white. And they realized that she was dead. And the dwarfs got very, very sad, because they loved her very much. So what they did is they made a glass coffin for Snow White. And they put her in the coffin so that she could rest comfortably. And they took their hats off and they stood and they looked over Snow White, very sad. Until suddenly a prince came along on his horse. Oh la la, I'm the prince, la la la. What's this? He saw the 7 dwarfs standing around Snow White, and in the glass coffin lay the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. And the prince fell in love at first sight. He got off his horse and he ran over and he said, who is this woman? I want to marry this woman. And the dwarf said, you can't, because she's dead. But the prince didn't let that stop him, because he was in love. And when you're in love, you do whatever you have to do. And he bent down and he kissed her. One kiss of true love. And suddenly, as if by magic, Snow White woke up. And the dwarves were really happy and they all jumped and clapped and sang. And then she looked in the prince's eyes and the prince looked in Snow White's eyes. And it was love at first sight for Snow White too. And they got married and they, along with the dwarves, went far, far away from the kingdom, from the nasty, nasty queen. And all of them lived happily ever after.